Tonight on Revolutionaries.
And you know, how much, I probably made the mistake of looking at your budget for 2013 a little bit, and I could have used some help in trying to understand it. But one thing I noticed is, you know, the number that is associated with basic research is relatively small. I mean, I counted about $1/3 billion basic research, 1.2 million applied research, and 1.1 million advanced technology development. Basic research. In 1973, there was this thing called the Mansfield Amendment, and it sort of pushed you guys out of basic. You're supposed to do things that are just military applications. And yet there is some basic money, and the country is not spending on basic research, either in the private sector or in the public sector, the way it once did. So how do I interpret this $300 million?
So we have a big push, actually, in basic research. I think the DARPA has, I think we have a different view of it, and it's certainly one I hold, and I drive hard in my office, which is I almost think they're false distinctions, right? So one of the things I tell all our performers is, if it's not world-changing and sort of DARPA-worthy, which really means basic research, then I'm not interested. But if what I get out of that is a whole bunch of papers, I don't understand how I go to some guy who's putting his life on the line for our country in Afghanistan and go, here's this awesome cover of Nature. You know, they're like, thanks. So what we do is, I don't know if you've heard this a lot, but you know, we talk about sort of Pascal's Quadrant, right? So the idea is, I'm very interested exactly where basic science meets a fundamental product. So what we'll tend to do is, I'll have my program managers, the programs are usually like 3 years, 4 years, something like that. And so what's the dream goal where we need researchers? And we fund basic research, universities, no publication restriction, and do all that. But I want to know what the product is, because I think it actually makes research better. Building things is actually I believe, is part and parcel of research. So everything we do, you'll have something built in a year, and I want something built in the second year, and something built in the third year. And it may not be awesome, and it may not be the thing we want, but I actually think your research gets better. Otherwise, you can sort of sit back and you feel very happy in the lab, but you got to take your baby out and show it to people. And it's really scary, right? Because sometimes people look and they go, well, you know, they say no baby's ugly, but, you know, you've done it. So that happens, but I think we need it.